Hi, I'm Brandon. I love UpTV movies.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like UpTV movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise UpTV movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, hello, everybody.
boy.
It's great to be here for our first UpTV movie of the year. We started doing these a little bit last year, occasionally popping over.
Little Botanic Cup here.
A little Botanic Cup. And I gotta be honest, we need to do this more.
Oh my
we
goodness.
need to do this more.
If it is about the amount of insanity you can put in an 83-minute movie, I don't think any other network is as consistent as UpTV, because that's where Christmas Time Capsule aired, correct?
Yes, it did.
And
Sure
Botanic Cup aired
yes.
there.
And then
Which I stand behind was actually a decent
I know
movie,
you
but-
do.
we did another
Just
we did
Jake?
another one.
Just
Just
Jake?
Jake, that's right.
Yep.
Oh, I love Just Jake.
Yeah. There's one more, I feel like, before Just Jake that we did. But anyway, we're kicking off our UpTV venture of 2024 with Love by Design, a title that has not been taken.
And not to be confused with Love in Design.
Another pergola love movie.
Yes, an Andrew Walker, Danica McKellar movie where he does make a pergola for her. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Pergola,
And if-
gazebo, who knows? There's
Yes.
also another movie from 2013 called Love by Design.
Wow. But
Yeah.
if you think that that's going to be the weirdest, wackiest part of this movie,
No.
oh boy, I just can't even tell you that how wrong you are. Yeah.
Jax, how are you? Tell the people what's going on in your life?
I'm doing great. I'm just sitting here with my vision board.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
And part of this vision board is trying to get a movie on UpTV this year, which I don't know how I feel about that after watching this one, but you can see.
There you are.
Okay.
Our
All of my-
show.
Walk
Game
us
Face.
through what all these
Is that someone
Okay.
from Twilight in the top left corner there?
No, that's Andrew Walker. Not Andrew Walker.
interesting.
Wow.
Taylor Lautner.
He's on the brain. That's oh my gosh, you guys.
I don't think it's gonna work
Uh-oh.
out. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I love him. Andrew, I want to call him Andrew Goldwasser, who's the guy I did theater with. It's Andrew. Oh my God, not
Can you
Andrew
show us the
Reynolds.
picture again a little bit better?
Guys, it's
Andrew
Andrew
Garfield.
Garfield.
my God. I'm so sorry. It
Jax
doesn't bode
did
well
not
for me.
know the name of Andrew Garfield.
Out of
That
order.
is
And
Spider-Man.
here's the thing is, and
Spider-Man.
he listens to this show too.
does.
So any chance?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do with Andrew Garfield?
Well,
Just
I
meet him?
met him. I met him I already met him
met
on a
him.
plane. He helped me put my luggage up in the compartment. I was coming back from
Wow.
TCAs,
What a
and he was so
sweetheart.
nice.
Well, yeah, they say chivalry's dead. Look at this guy.
Chivalry is dead. And then
But
we have
why is he on your vision board?
Oh, because I'd like to work with him.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
same.
What else?
Fortune?
and then
Is
I
that just
have-
like you want to make money?
And I want to make money. Then I have, really importantly, Parvati and Mae Martin. They're now dating, but Mae Martin's my favorite comedian. Parvati is one of my favorite Survivor players and now is doing an amazing job on Traders.
I've never heard
So
of
we've done-
her. Them.
You've never heard
said
of
so
Parv?
many names, and I'm so happy.
She
for
led the
them.
Black Widow Brigade. I'm just saying
Well,
you know.
that clears it
She
right
led
up.
the Black Widow Brigade.
Who was in
and
the-
you haven't stopped talking about them.
That's right, the Black
Okay.
Widow Brigade. Yeah. The
We have Issa Rae right here,
Okay.
who I love and want to
Oh,
work
no,
with.
Issa Rae is a genius. What's the other corner? Opposite Andrew Garfield. Who's that guy?
Oh, Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, of course.
Why is
yeah.
what's the Gambino doing on there? You want to be on his next album?
I just want to hang out
Yes.
with him.
Yeah, I also
you know,
do would
work
like-
with
I would
him.
like to
Mr. and
hang out
Mrs.
with
Smith is a fun time.
Yeah, that's great.
If you've not watched
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I'm really excited to watch that. I also love Maya from.
Yeah, Maya
Yeah,
Erskine.
she's
15.
great.
Yeah, from
Yeah,
Pen
she's
15.
great.
She's unbelievable.
They're so good together.
They are.
Their chemistry's wild.
Yeah.
They really are.
Why is that couple? I don't really understand your board.
So they're queer icons.
Right.
And as a queer woman, I'm excited about queer icons. They're two people that I loved independently that are now together, and I want to be in their orbit.
Okay. So it.
Trying to create a bigger queer community for myself.
Yes, of course. You know, all that.
So wait, is your vision board just people you want to hang out with?
This is where we're getting to. I don't know if you know what a vision board is.
Yeah.
It says television on it. Do you
This
see?
is
What's
fresh.
fresh?
Fresh. Oh, just that my skin continues to look good.
What else? Well, give me. There's a couple of.
It says Mariska Hargitay. I've been having a lot of Law and Order auditions, but haven't booked a one.
Oh, this year's your year.
What?
What's our show?
They're turning you down for Law and Order?
They've been. Well, but all that being said, they were roles that I'm okay with not booking because they were all moms of 18-year-olds and like in their 40s. So I was like, I feel like I'm reading
especially with your fresh skin.
Yeah. With that
You don't
skincare,
stand a chance.
Everyone at Bramblefest tell Jax that her skin is looking fresh.
So fresh. So fresh.
And then I'll know that my vision board is coming
That's
true.
right.
And what's our show? Like just what we're doing here?
My sister and I are pitching a show, and we've been pitching.
Yeah,
so
we've been in that process.
always be pitching.
before.
You guys know how it is.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Good luck out there.
It's a lot of crushed dreams,
Listen,
as you guys know. But then
Jax,
progress.
good luck on your pitch immediately following this, and I hope after they say no that you'll still have a good day.
Also, if we were anything like the mom in this movie, we would have already sent contacts out to Donald Glover and Andrew Garfield.
Hey, out of curiosity,
act as
who's
though-
that casting director at Law and Order?
Oh, it's Jonathan Strauss.
Jonathan Strauss.
Get him on the line, Jonathan.
Jonathan Strauss.
You've got
that's
news.
right. Got some news for you.
Jay Strauss.
We called in some favors.
Jay Strauss.
That's right.
Would love to book.
Got you a scene with Andrew Garfield. Weirdly, I know that's
On Law and Order. Which
Yeah, on Law and Order.
No, his name. I cannot believe
He
I
made the
forgot
vision
his name.
boards, but
But you should go ahead and take him off that board. I think
Yeah.
that's just you can't not
you
know.
knew Andrew Reynolds. Put him up there.
Yeah,
I really, guys. Honestly, all white guys are interchangeable.
That's
Who knows?
fair.
That's what I've
And
always
also, But before we get going, this is so off the beaten path, and I could ask you this anytime, but I'm going to forget. I saw in your Instagram stories a while back, you got to go see Gutenberg, like with Josh Gad.
So my best friend Russell was Josh Gad's understudy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the
yeah.
show so badly, but obviously South Carolina. How great was it?
It was really phenomenal. I got to see my best friend only went in once. Josh only missed one performance, and I got to see Josh do the show twice and Russell do it once.
Oh, so
it
you
was
just saw it 3
amazing.
times.
Yeah, whatever.
I saw it 3 times.
Okay.
But you guys, oh my gosh, I wish you would have been here because Russell would have taken you backstage and you could have done the whole thing.
Man.
Well, notice that Josh Gad's not on your list. You already met him.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, by the way, I didn't.
What?
And he
I was too busy. When we went backstage, I was with Erin Cahill and her husband, and they met him, and I was just in a corner talking to Russell. That's kind of,
and we love Russell.
We do.
Russell Cashmore.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crass.
Russell
Crashmore Crowe.
Yes, Crowe. Yeah. Who was Josh Gad's understudy.
Yeah.
Gladiator
Amazing.
was Josh Gad's understudy.
incredible.
Russell
Russell
the Russell Cashmore Crowe.
We got it. Yes.
Let's talk about Love by Design, not starring Andrew Garfield
Or Russell Cashmore.
or Russell Crashmore Crowe. But we're still excited.
We're
about
so
it.
excited.
Originally aired, I think it was hung out on Tubi for a little bit, but then Sunday, February 11th on UpTV is when it premiered, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with a couple of teenage gals talking about vision boards, where you put people you want to meet, and that's it.
And adjectives that could describe anything.
Fresh.
Success. That's a noun, but whatever.
You're getting it. Brooke is
Adequate. Can you imagine if that was someone's vision board?
adequate.
Yeah. Moderate. So.
Brooke is like, everything on my vision board is going to come true. Cut to 15 years later. She's working with her boyfriend, Fred, at his furniture store. She's given up her dream of being an interior designer to help him with his store, because she's pretty convinced that he's going to propose to her, especially after she finds a ring in his desk. But turns out it's not for her. It is for someone else. He breaks up with her and says, I found someone else. It was love at first sight. I already bought the ring for her. Also, sorry about it.
You can get to stepping.
You can get to step and take your time getting your stuff out of the condo, though. You take all the time you need. So Brooke goes to stay with her mom, And her mom finds her old vision board in the closet and is like, well, looky here, fresh and fierce. Her mom takes her to and is like, hey, you need to get out of bed. You need to do things. You need to stop eating cookies in bed. And so it is her birthday week, and it is time for her birthday, and she's going to blow out the candles on the cake. And her mom is like, you should wish you say these words.
Yeah.
I wish that my vision board, everything on my vision board would come true. Everyone knows the vision board prayer. That's exactly right.
That prayer.
She wishes, she blows out the candles, the lights flicker, and then she takes the cake to bed. The next morning, wouldn't you know it, she's lost 5 pounds, just like her vision board said. She goes to her new job that she got and meets a hunky woodworker named Josh. She's like, hey.
There's also a dog out there, right?
Yes, there is a dog.
There's a dog out there, Mr. Noodles.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
on her
Oh, I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
First he meets the dog, then brings the dog the next day.
I thought the dog was right outside their porch.
After this first day at work.
Got it. Go ahead.
First day at work, meets Josh, and she's like, I'll show your stuff to my boss. And the boss is like, no. That night, she finds a lost dog, and looks like old Mr. Noodles. We love old Mr. Noodles, but could be my dog, just like my vision board.
Oh my goodness. Lost 5 pounds.
Get Mr.
Dog
Noodles.
shows up. Man.
The dog gets, the next day she brings the dog, or her mom brings her the dog and is like, hey, look after your dog. And the dog gets out and she ends up getting fired. She called the owner of the dog, who she ends up figuring out who that is. It turns out it's the celebrity crush, the childhood crush Hal, just like her vision board.
Yeah. Captain of the football team.
That's exactly
Hal.
right. Hal.
Played by Whoa. Joey Lawrence. Hal
actually has properties that are in need of some interior designing. And she's
Russell
like
Crashmore.
Cashmore Crow.
That's right.
And she's like, I can do interior design. In fact, I own my own business. And he's like, show me what you want to do. And so she puts together a little proposal board, and he's like, I love it. But wouldn't you know it, the contractor that she hires is Josh.
Oh, from the original thing.
The hunky woodworker guy that also runs this contracting company. Josh notices that Hal is totally taking advantage of Brooke on a regular basis, having her walk the dog, mail some mail. And he's like, hey, this guy's totally taking advantage of you. And she's like, nah, he would do the same thing for me. I'll prove it. Hal, will you come and look at some chandeliers with me? And he's like, yeah, sure. But he doesn't show up until he finds out that there's a hotshot businessman there. Then suddenly he's like, oh, yes, I'm there now. Obviously, she ends up spending more time with Josh. Mm-hmm. They actually have a little slow dance dip, almost kiss situation. Yeah. Saw him live, by the way. Fantastic. Mm-hmm. But then she keeps going along with whatever Hal wants because Hal's the guy on the vision board. She asks him to go to her niece's birthday party, and Hal says yes, but then lies and says that he has to go out of town for work. But Josh actually overheard that he's going to Vegas with the boys. He opts not to tell her what he heard. We do find out that mom rigged the scale, stole a dog, helped making the vision board come true.
Stole that Hal's dog.
Stole Hal's dog so that they would end up meeting. But whatever.
She's going to get her comeuppance, don't worry. She's going to apologize.
Absolutely.
It's going to be awesome.
It's all going to happen. One night, she is out with Hal at a restaurant, and she needs to get the vision board of the property to Josh so that Josh can see how she wants something done.
Yeah.
So she texts her mom and says, hey, can you bring the board to Josh? She accidentally brings her vision, her like childhood vision board.
Classic.
And he then sees, oh my gosh, she's just trying to make this vision board come true. And he notices, hey, that's Hal. Hal is on the vision board. That's the only reason why you're putting up with this guy's stuff is because it's on your vision board. They have this party to celebrate the house being complete, and that's when she finds out that he was in Vegas, not out of town on business, and she decides she's going to break up with him. She goes to find Josh, but she sees Josh with a woman that he calls baby. She is
no way to misinterpret that.
No way
right?
to misinterpret it.
Yeah.
She is like, oh my gosh. She bumps into a car. The alarm goes off. He goes and he was like, her card is on the ground. I got to go make things right with her. So he goes to explain, and this is as clear as crystal. That woman is my sister-in-law. I call my brother's wife baby. And she's like,
it's a nickname.
She's like, got it. They have kissy fun time. Cut to getting married at Joey Lawrence's house under the pergola. Then turns out that Josh bought the house. Cut to the end of the movie. Everybody's doing vision boards. You get a vision board. I get a vision board. Mom gets a vision board. And that, my friends, was Love by Design.
Couple of real whoppers you did leave out. One, we find out that Josh is actually on the vision board. The picture
as
of
the
Hal
mascot,
is
that's
folded,
right.
And you flip it, and he's on the other side of it. And also, that's it. That's the big whopper that you missed. We can talk about the rest later.
What a whopper.
What a whopper. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll break this movie down with 4 segments here on Deck the Hallmark. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're talking about Love by Design, the UpTV movie from this past week. And let's break it down with 4 segments. We're going to start with a hot take, and I'm going to start with my friend Jax. Jax, what do you think about Love by Design?
I can't wait.
What I do want to say before I, really dig into it is that, as someone who's worked on movies, it takes a lot of work to make a movie happen. And I've tried to make movies happen that have never happened. So even by virtue of getting it done, hats off to these people. I love Dee Wallace, who was also in E.T., played the mom in E.T., and now she's in this movie. This movie got a few big laughs for me, but I couldn't believe what I was watching. This was to start off, I'll keep this as short as I can, but I was really quite angry about the lose 5 pounds. That's not how a vision board works, especially one that you've put together when you were 14. And we're seeing a size 0, very thin blonde white woman say this. And, being over concerned with our weight, that's the patriarchy, that's white supremacy. I could go on all day, but I was really, really angry about that. Eric Roberts, who's one of the hardest working men in show business.
Let's go.
What was going on there? I was like, I think he's just having fun and kind of to be honest, screwing with us. But it was unhinged. It was wild. I was worried about him, but I was like, I think he's kind of doing it on purpose. What's happening? It was like he was drunk or high or some combination of everything. It was absolutely wild. Joey Lawrence is very charismatic and very nice in person, but he's wearing lots of lip gloss in this, and it's confusing. Everything about this, one of the biggest villains I've ever seen in a movie like this, in her sister, it was just wild from beginning to end. But as we'll get into in later segments, I did have quite a few laugh out loud moments that weren't for the quote unquote right reasons, but it really got me.
Maybe it's Jane Austen month. Maybe it's
Here it comes.
Just kind of how things have been lately. But when she makes the wish and the lights flicker, I knew we had stumbled upon a special movie. I loved every second of this movie. No notes.
Oh my God.
Aside from the
What?
5 pound thing, that was tough to watch. This movie is just so wacky, so crazy, so much silliness. But I gotta say, I really liked the two leads. I thought they were really great together. I really liked Joey Lawrence. I thought he was a lot of fun. This movie is insane. This movie is my favorite movie of the year. I had a blast with a capital B. Big fun for Bran. Give me Love by Design over any Jane Austen movie this month, and I haven't even seen two of them.
So what you need to know, first of all, is it's not fair. The Jane Austen movies are predisposed for Bran not to like them. They're about a book. But the other thing is, and you need to be I need to be very clear, is this movie Bran loves not because qualitatively it's great, but because it has that zany, absurdist quality that drew Bran to these movies to begin with. I think that's the thing you need to know about that take. Before you all you Bran stands rush off to see this movie, it doesn't hold up in any capacity. Bran loved it because you literally from scene to scene did not know what was going to happen. Yeah. That's what Bran loved about it. So, because Jax looked like she had to be somewhere, anywhere but here. And I need to be clear. This movie is awful. Like, it's terrible, but did it go by quicker than the Alison Sweeney, Ben Ayers, Jane Austen movie? Yes, because it is just throwing stuff at you. I mean, Eric Roberts has played 30 Lifetime villains. He's been in movies in the cinema, and it appears that he is playing just a super flamboyant furniture worker, and he's having to do it this way against his will. Like it doesn't look like Jax is like, he looks like he's having fun. It looks like somebody pointed a gun at him and said, you better look like you're having fun. It looks like he is twice removed from fun. He has an earring dangling on his left ear. He has tangerine orange clothes, big vest, puffy, long hair, and he's sashaying through the camera, through the scene. And it's like 3 scenes, and then he's gone.
He saw the script and he said, I can't do that, but I can do this. I don't know why you would have him do that. And because none of that's in the script, right?
Oh my gosh.
He's created a character from scratch.
But that's the tip of the iceberg in this movie. Jackie Moore, our leading lady,
yes,
her and Joey Lawrence are supposed to have gone to high school at the same time, only if he was held back 10 times. What is he, a 12th year senior? Not on your life, bro. Like, when Blossom came out, she couldn't drive a car, okay? There's just no world where those two people are supposed to be in the same high school together. Joey Lawrence looks like what he read in the script was smokes a lot of cocaine, just snorts it right up real good. And Joey Lawrence is super dynamic, but he's super dynamic on fast forward 3 times speed. He is like super like glitchy and just like and he's like and it is like I don't know if he's doing that because
and somehow he always has to go.
Yeah,
like he's just always like, yeah, I gotta go, and then but he is always in the other room.
Yes, and then we find out that the third guy, the guy in the love triangle who she ends up with, also went to high school with them. He was born in 1989. So like that guy and Joey Lawrence are almost a generation apart. They're almost 15 years apart in age. And like, it is noticeable. Like it's noticeable as you watch the movie. And I think this is maybe a hot take. I do want to see more of Joey Lawrence in these movies. I think that there's a place for him in these movies. What he brings is fun. It's frenetic. It's different. It is very like dynamic. But in this movie, it is so out of place to watch these two people who are around the same age and Joey Lawrence act. It's like Steve Buscemi in Grown Ups, who's like, hey there, fellow teenagers. I'm sorry, Joseph. It's just not the role you need to play anymore. And so you've got that going on. You've got a mom who is villain of the century in this movie. She is world's worst human. And having a scale in the kitchen, she makes her adult daughters.
What, you don't think the mom is a villain?
I 100%. I think the worst human in this movie by far is the sister.
Jax! Mom stole a dog!
I cannot say on this podcast that I won't say that I am just like about that sister. I was like, she is the worst.
The sister's terrible.
But Jax, Mom stole a dog.
Yeah, stole someone's
Mom's coming
dog.
from but did the wrong thing for the right reasons. The sister is just
wait a minute.
The kitchen scale?
Time out.
The kitchen scale, Jax?
She has a scale in her kitchen. She makes her adult daughters stand on apparently every morning.
Because she knew what her previous weight was by the exact number, looked down and said, "You've lost 5 pounds."
Okay.
And again, I don't blame her. I blame the patriarchy in white
but the
supremacy.
patriarchy did a real number on her, and she became a terrible villain. Doc Ock, that would be like saying I blame science. Science is the root cause. But
I still think the sister's worse. She's so mean.
What? Dude.
The sister is so mean.
No, wait a minute, though. She doctors a scale. She steals a dog to this guy, brings the vision board over on purpose, and then
wrong thing, right reason.
And then ever comes clean. Never apologizes. Never tells her what she's done.
I don't think she's a great person.
Oh, she's
But
awful.
I think villain of this century, I still think the sister's worse.
Wow.
I think the double deckers will be split on this.
Man.
But I invite them to let us know what
that mom is a treat. That mom is like just the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst. Anyway, long story short, this movie has very little to root for, but it is a wild ride. They do not... place and time don't matter in this movie. Don't try to follow it in a linear sense. Don't try to make it make sense. Just experience what's happening. And this is something I guarantee when the editors got a hold of this movie, they're like, we don't have a prayer. We are just, we have been hung out to dry by a writer, a director somewhere. We have, an hour and a half of bad movie jazz. But scenes are just popping up. Full wall calla lily paintings are just here. We got to make this make sense somehow. The editor should win a Nobel Peace Prize. This movie is such a train wreck. I don't agree with Brand qualitatively, but from an entertainment perspective, I see how he gets there. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm asking for. It's time for all the feels. This is what we're talking about. When this movie gave us feels. Jax?
I thought this was going to be the first time that I searched my heart and found out things, but there was 2 little things. When Josh goes over to her and is like, hey, boss.
There it is.
I was like, okay. Okay, hey boss. And then also when Mr. Keys was flirting with her mom at the end, I was like, that's sweet and a little spicy. He's like, because she was like, is that guy single? So those are the 2 for me. I found something.
The first one, and I'll just go ahead and use mine, is we see so many times in these movies where the dude is there, and it's usually a fake relationship movie, but the dude is there and looks like he's a buffoon or an idiot, and the girl comes up and makes him feel more manly or appear more manly in front of the party. Love Hard, where she shows up and like overly acts out the part of being his girlfriend because his brother's so very unimpressed. That happens regularly in this movies. This guy, who's not even like fake dating her at the time, sees that these dudes don't take her seriously.
Especially when he's with Baby.
And yeah, exactly. And he just is like, hey boss, what do you need? It was pitch perfect. It was the best version of egalitarianism you could find. It was partnership at its height.
Gonna put that on the DVD.
It was great. It was one 10-second moment that did not make up for the hodgepodge beluga that was the rest of this. But it did exist, and I'm glad you pointed it out, Jax.
I have 2. One, we watch a lot of these movies, and typically when the names are going by at the beginning of the movie on the lower third, you're just kind of like, yeah, they're happening. every once in a while one sticks out and you're like, I like that they did that they included this. This movie on the lower third does put introducing Fred as Mr. Noodles. And
so good.
gosh darn it, did I love that. I love that it happened. I love that the people responsible for Fred said, you're going to introduce him as Fred playing Mr. Noodles, and we need to be the final name, and if not, we walk, which I just love.
It was negotiating the contract.
It was. They said, listen, you are introducing Fred as Mr. Noodles. It has to be the last one, or else no dice, no Fred for you. I don't even know really the feeling it gave me, but the door in this movie is insane. The door in this house is insane. And at first I was in awe of it. Then I was afraid of it. And then I was offended by it. And then I've come around and went, pretty cool door. Big door. Big door. You can drive a car through that door, except that it pivots in the middle. And so it's a bit of
we'll talk
bit
about
of a
that
mess
more.
there.
Yep.
That door is phenomenal. The door deserved its own scene, just kind of dealing with the door, and they all are acting as if they deal with these doors all the time. It's like, yep, it's exactly how you would expect it to be. No, it is nothing like we expect it to be.
It's a center pivot front door to a house.
Yeah.
That's a weird door.
It's giant, big door.
Yeah.
You deal with those doors all the time in New York City, I'm sure.
Yeah.
With all your
All the time.
your big
All the time.
parties, your fancy fresh parties. I don't know. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back.
New York liberals, am I right?
That's exactly right. Let's come back with the wait, what's in the what here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about the UpTV movie Love by Design. It is time for the Wait What? A short segment today, I'm sure. So we're talking about when this movie made us go, wait, what? Jax, anything stick out to you?
I'm going to mostly let you guys cover this ground, but this is one that Dan mentioned earlier that I genuinely have a question about. Yeah, is it weird that he calls his sister-in-law baby? Sure. But the explanation of it was that his brother couldn't say Barbara, so he calls her baby, but she's married to his brother. So I legitimately...
Yeah.
Don't understand what they tried to do with the.
It was, and this is it's a theory of mine. It was poorly written.
Yeah.
It was not written well.
It is, and we listen. It is 100% his brother-in-law's wife.
His brother's wife.
His brother's wife. Yeah, his
That's right.
brother's wife.
It's his brother's
That's right.
wife, right?
It is 100% his brother's wife that he calls baby.
Correct.
Because his brother-in-law had a hard time saying.
Brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I keep saying brother. His brother had a hard time saying the name
of the woman he was going to marry. Did they grow up together?
So that's what. I get. Here's the thing. Yes, is this contrived and weird and kind of creepy? Sure, but I at least expected that it would have an explanation that you were like, okay, that's weird, but I literally couldn't track it, and I was like, am I insane? Like, what it's so. We're thinking the same thing.
But don't they also, when they're sitting on the bench and she sees him talking to her and he calls her baby again, he's doing a thing there where it's like she's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought that they were going to say that he is calling her baby because she's having a baby, which also isn't good.
Yeah.
But then
it would make more sense.
But then it's not the explanation given at all. And then we don't talk about the baby again.
And then our poor...
When's that baby?
Our poor lead is left to act like what they just said to her was normal.
Yeah.
She's in that enviable
I
position.
see.
It's like, oh, you call her baby. Of course. You kiss her on the cheek to greet her and say, hey, baby. Normal. I'm sorry.
I'm the weird one.
I misread it.
Yeah.
This is the first time ever somebody's gotten jealous of something that's not a relationship and it been like, no, that was justified.
I've been like,
you saw the guy.
You were where I am on this.
Baby.
I would be like, I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, baby. Anything else, Jax?
No, I have a feeling you guys are going to do a good job of covering.
Not us.
So, at the furniture store that her ex-boyfriend runs, she's looking for sugar for
this is
coffee.
classic.
And she's like, where would that sugar be? And that leads to her opening his desk drawer, which is just like a part of the showroom.
Yeah, his office is in the showroom.
His office is in the showroom. Why would there be sugar? Why would that ever be the place? We're going to have the coffee over here, but if you want sugar, you're going to have to go to my desk drawer to get it. That's where I keep it, because I also like to just down some sugar packets during the middle of the workday.
There. Furthermore, the desk is out amidst the furniture that is for sale, which means if you were robbing the place, there would be one less barrier of entry to get an expensive diamond ring that you're just leaving out there. It's like, is this desk for sale? No, this is my office. This is where our office, by all the furniture that's for sale.
Yeah. The cookies in this movie are not cookies. Scones, maybe. Either way, they look awful. They make Josh in this movie a woodworker, a splatter paint artist, and just a general contractor that does everything. No matter what it is, he does it. This guy is phenomenal. There is a scene in this movie where she comes home, she's on the swing, and then her mom begins to push her on the swing. That scene didn't work for me. I felt like it was just really weird in general. Like a scene, if you put the right music to it, is a weird horror movie scene where it's just like, we're flesh. Are they under the impression that Brooke created the idea of a TV picture frame? Are they under the impression that
I think they are.
They came up with that?
The case, man. How do you make it both classy and functional? What if it was a TV frame? No one's ever done that before.
Amazing.
Except everyone. It's literally something you've been able to buy in stores for a decade.
Yeah. And I also love this guy is setting up the picture frame TV, and he says, I'm going to get my painting on this wall one way or another.
That's right.
So he says, I'm going to install this TV. I'm going to take a picture of my painting and put it on your TV. It's going to be up there, dadgummit. Dano? Or as I like to call you, baby.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks, baby. This house is the biggest, most spacious house I've ever seen that is 100% unaccessible. Like a lot of times when you have houses that are built like this, it's to make sure people of every different type of physical ability can feel comfortable, and what's accessible for all is better for everybody. This has a door that's big enough to drive a car through, except the hinge is in the middle. So it only opens at these weird 45-degree angles. I never see him spin it all the way out. The stairs have no railing, and at one point are covered in plastic wrap, even though they're not working on them. It is a weird house that they've filmed the majority of this movie in. I also have a problem with all three of our leads and what they think their job is. She is a professional designer. This contractor keeps trying to give her design advice. Why? Why do you keep doing that? She's like, hey, I want the table over here. And he's like, I think it'd look better over here. Hey, how about shut up and build the table? It's not your job. You're not a designer. I didn't go over to you and tell you how to build the pergola. Don't tell me how to do this. And then Joey Lawrence, who's writing the checks for all this, comes down and he goes, I actually want a TV here, not a picture frame. And she goes, well, I want the frame here. I'm sorry, lady. He hired you. He can decide where even if he's wrong, he gets to decide that. Yeah. Everyone just thinks that they're everything in this movie.
But also the idea of going, you want the TV to be there where everyone can see it and it be in the best possible place for this room.
When Jackie Moore goes, you want to put the TV in the middle of the room? Where else are you going to? No, I'd like it just tucked away. I don't want anybody to see this thing. I want it to be gone. In fact, no TV would be great, in my opinion. Yeah. I'd like, yes, that's where that goes. In the morning, these two people talk, the contractor and Jackie Moore. I don't remember their names. They talk. And there's a wall that's blank. And then we leave and we come back. And that wall, it is maybe a 10-foot wall. Ceilings are big. Has been painted fully. Background is black. 4 calla lilies. And it looks like it's paint. It doesn't look like wallpaper. But I got news for you. He also built a pergola in that afternoon, that singular afternoon. My man is finishing off a pergola and painting a 10 by 10 mural inside in one afternoon.
You could convince me he built the house.
Yeah,
the guy can do everything.
You could.
He's amazing.
This mom is the worst. Further proof when Jackie Moore moves back in with her mom. She's like depressed because she's been dumped and all this stuff. And her mom comes in the room and she's sleeping and there's a plate of cookies on her bed. Now, the rest of her room is immaculate. And in fact, most of the cookies are still on the plate. Her room couldn't look cleaner. My room's never looked that clean. And her mom comes in and is like, you need to pull yourself together.
Wait, Dan, but Dan, who encouraged her to do that? Who said that she was
my gosh.
Who encouraged her to do that? The villainous sister.
Yeah. Well, okay. But mom still, one night after thinking you're going to be proposed to in a serious relationship, turns out your boyfriend.
It had actually been a week. It had been. They do mention.
Rolls in and goes, you need to pull yourself together. This room is perfect, but you've got a plate of cookies on your bed, and that tells me no more.
Do you think sister encouraged her to steal the dog too, or did she do that just because it was?
No, she did. No, honestly, she did that on her own.
Jack, she stole a dog.
She stole a dog.
Jack, she stole a dog.
She stole someone's dog.
No, Jackie Moore's character is the way she is. She's in a horrible family.
A couple more real quick. This is the most sensitive Chevy Impala car alarm I've ever seen. This is a 12-year-old Chevy Impala.
Don't you steal it.
And she grazes it with her hip, and that thing goes off like it is a Bentley.
The hips don't lie.
It is just absurd what happens in this scene. That alarm is so sensitive. If there's a breeze outside, the Chevy Impala is going to let you know someone is interested in it, which there you have it. A couple more. This dude who is going to hire Jackie Moore to do some work sees the framed TV and goes, I have to have these in my hotel. To hotels. Where? Why? What? What are you talking about? Where would a framed TV be necessary in a hotel? I don't like in the.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That would be the one place you would not have a framed TV. Is in a hotel where in the rooms it's always a TV and in the lobby it's also always a TV. I don't know why you would need these.
You need them.
It just doesn't make any sense at all. And then lastly, and this is maybe my biggest one, Joey Lawrence, the night before his big party at his house that she's redesigning the house for, he rolls up to her and he's like, I couldn't stop thinking about you. However, I want you to change everything about yourself. And he gives her a ticket for a spa day. And he says, I got you this. It's for a spa day. It includes the works. And I'm like, all right, I still am like, this is super duper awful of this dude, but I understand what UpTV is trying to do. And then he throws in this little gem. It comes with a complete... right? I can't believe you didn't mention this one, Jax. It comes...
I know, I like this one for you. It's really good.
It comes with a complete wardrobe refresh.
At the spa.
So they're going to look at every article of clothing that you own. And they're going to be like...
As the spa does.
They're going to be like, we can only do so much with your face. But we've got to rework all of this. And they're going to... This spa day includes you getting an entirely new wardrobe? How much money does this cost? And it's being accomplished in one day?
This was utterly ludicrous. However, I was like, she's mad about it, but I would be like, thank you so much.
That is the one time where you know this guy's sexist and awful, but you're like,
totally.
I mean, thank you. Since you insist, I will take an entirely new closet and a day at the sure. If I got to deal with your BS, sure,
no problem.
Absolutely. That is a wild gift. That gift cost him $100,000. Whatever. That's everything. A complete wardrobe, shoes, accessories, everything. Get out of town.
Yeah, and what she wears the next day is unlike anything she's worn the whole day.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything.
Totally different.
They literally put some curls in her hair, and she's exactly the same.
Totally different.
And she looks like a drunk gazelle in those high heels. She can't walk. And I say that as someone who also looks like a drunk gazelle in high heels. I feel for you, Jackie Moore. I'm right with you.
It's time for What's Up. It's where we wonder what that would give us any clarity. We got some questions. That's all I'm trying to say. Jax, what are you still wondering about?
Yeah, you guys definitely alluded to this, but I was cackling when she pulls the picture out and he's in the mascot. We haven't discussed that we were all in high school together. Like I get it. Like, you don't always know. I knew everyone I went to high school with, but I guess sometimes people don't, but that hasn't come up. And then I want to know what this reunion is going to look like. I want to attend their 20-year class reunion because I think it's going to be a mess. And I am.
Well, that's the thing about the mascot is
if
you're always
Joey Lawrence's age. Yeah, you're late on the 20. You might catch the 30.
The 30, 40 minute.
Sorry.
But the
also get Oprah's name out of your mouth, Jack Moore. When she was like, manifest things, I was like, honey, you are not Oprah.
You said it. But yeah, that's the thing. Like mascots, they're always in their mascot.
That's right. That's right.
Like, even in class,
even
like they get big pencils and they're just kind of like trying to follow along best they can.
In the back of individual football portraits, especially.
He's back there.
Yes,
I'll be in the background of all of them. And as she did her vision board,
60 football players, one at a time. Bing.
As she did the vision board, she thought, I don't want the mascot in it.
Right.
Could I cut the picture?
Could I just boom, boom, boom?
Maybe.
Fold. You never
know. It's a fold situation. I have two. The guy who plays Josh has someone's autograph.
Right there.
Tattooed. And I just kind of want to know, whose is it?
Yeah.
But also, there is a brief storyline in this movie. She is at dinner with Joey Lawrence and his business associate. And she kind of picks up on the fact that he is lying to investors. He then secures the deal with the hotel guy that wants the picture frame TVs in all of his hotels.
Yes.
And secures a deal with him. And she goes, are you going to tell him about the soggy soil or whatever?
Yeah.
He's like, I'll get to it.
That's right.
At the end of this movie, at the wedding, those two are sitting next to each other. Clearly the venture is still happening. Did Joey Lawrence ever come clean? He did not strike me as somebody in this movie that A, learned a lesson, or B, would end up being honest, because he didn't think that he was lying to investors to begin with.
Yeah.
And she did not tell him. But she did not go up to the guy.
They're clearly on good terms by the end of the
clearly.
movie. But and also Joey Lawrence and Jackie Moore are on good terms because they do the wedding at his house.
Yes. But if you the guy who is clearly a big fan of you, I want all your picture frame TVs in my hotel. If you think that he's going into business with someone who's shady, you got to give the heads up. There's something there.
Yeah.
You either gave the guy a heads up or you went to Joey Lawrence and said, hey, by the way, I know we're not a thing anymore. If you don't tell him, I will.
Yeah.
Because now we're in business together. Exactly. This guy wants my picture frame TVs.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Tell him or I will. Dan?
At the end of this movie, we find out that, is it Charles? Who's the guy's name? That's the contractor. Josh?
Josh, yes.
Josh buys the house for her, which I don't know how much money contractors make. I don't know. That house is either he just got a mortgage that they are now married, or he did just buy the house and has crazy amounts of money. She, by the end of this movie, based upon what we see all movie long, has now become a pretty like influential designer.
Right.
She has a hotel collection she designs for 2 other people, including a furniture store worker friend of her former boyfriend, wants her to design stuff.
Right.
She has all of these jobs. She's on her way up. And so as like clearly we have 2 career-driven people, I would love to see how those decisions are made moving forward with these 2.
We did it. We did it, everybody. Congratulations. Big fun today. Let's do it again soon, I think.
would love that.
I think.
I would love to. I love seeing you guys.
Jax, good luck on your pitch, and we will be back tomorrow with another one. Until then, maybe we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.